Always nerve-wracking knowing if we're on live or not. My gosh.
Yes, it is.
Yes, we're live. Well, welcome to Leaders Live, folks. And I'm Andrew Jenkins, and this is a short countdown timer just to help the various feeds catch up with themselves and settle down. And we can't wait for today's groovy show. We're hanging out with my mate Emma Brambell today, CEO of My Perfect Neon, and we're going to be chatting about the ups and the downs of running a digital neon sign business. Oh, say a quick hi, Emma.
Hi.
And a quick wave. Brilliant. Okay. And helping us to engage, we have the lovely Birdine Hugo. So Birdine will be keeping the interaction flowing today. So say a quick hello, Birdine.
Hi, everyone. I'm glad to be back. I might have load shedding soon, but hopefully everything just holds together.
Everything holds together. Yeah, in South Africa, there's load shedding, which is a horrible thing, which means the internet goes down. But we've got contingency, folks. Music by my Uncle Peter, and Morning Jonas from Denmark, and 59th show today, folks. Fantastic. And we've all been part of this growing community that feels really exciting. I think that needs a wow. Wow. Morning, Jack. It's great to see you this morning. So, yeah, here we go. And it's just bring up my feed as well. Where's the feed? Here we go. Right. Oi, oi, people. It's Leaders Live showtime, folks. Boy, have we got a packed show today. Hello, Edmee. Nice to see you today. It's just after 8:45 a.m. here in the UK. And Sawubona Ubuntu, which is a beautiful Zulu word for hello, people. And it means I see you deeply, I direct my attention totally to you, and all completely with love and joy. I love that expression. So we are live, folks, with Leaders Live, spreading the love. Yabba dabba do. Okay. So if you're new to Leaders Live and you don't know me, I'm Andrew Jenkins, and we're streaming out on LinkedIn, we're streaming out on Facebook, YouTube, Facebook groups or two, Twitter, Twitch as well. Ta-da. It's all hanging together. And if you can't catch us on live or the replay, fear not, my friends. We have you covered because we're on podcast too, as well as the replays. So, and the podcast comes out a little bit later. So, if you're new to this, then look, folks, this is an interactive show. Please say hello to us in the comments. We'd love to hear from you if you're new. Please introduce yourself, get involved, join in, ask questions, network with the live community, and even a bit of friendly banter goes a long way. So, and for you regulars, lead the way, you know how we roll. So put it all together, and what do we got? Bibbidi bobbidi boo, you've got it. I still love that phrase. Everybody laughs at that phrase, so there we go. Now, listen, folks, we've got a packed show today, as we've got a couple of exciting announcements to make during the show too. And so we'll come back to the first of those in a few moments. So first of all, before I do that, let's bring up Birdine. So first, quick shout out for Birdine, our fantastic moderator who's live with us too, and to keep the interaction flowing. Here's a chance for you to say a bit more, Birdine, before we come on to Emma.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. As I said just now, we have got load shedding at our time, 10 a.m. to 9 a.m. UK time. This is where South Africa takes our power away from us for periods of 2.5 hours or less, but yeah, they decide how long. But I'm very excited to have Emma back in the room today. Yeah. And to see all of the new stuff and what she's been up to.
Absolutely, and thanks for that for a cue. So Birdine will keep us on the straight and narrow with all the comments and stuff. So let's bring in our weekly Leaders Live guest. This week's Leaders Live guest, as already mentioned, we're hanging out with a lovely, fantastic, sparkly Emma Brambell, CEO of My Perfect Neon, chatting about the ups and the downs of a digital business. And today's title is Business Startup Lessons Learned, How to Get Your Glow On. How you doing, Emma?
I'm very well, thank you, Andrew.
Fantastic, great. Yeah. So I love the title, Get Your Glow On.
Thank you.
Shining brightly. Did you just see what I did there?
Yeah, I did.
Good morning to, let's have a quick good mornings to. So good morning, Silver Fox from South Africa. Good morning, Carol Baker, Edmee Carol, and Henrietta. Good morning. Hello from Port Elizabeth, South Africa. Fantastic. Love that phrase too, says Emma. Okay, Michelle Parsons. Hi all. Andrew, still remember your drawings in the NLP sessions with the TCA, that's the Coaching Academy, some 10 years ago. Oh, wow. Thanks for that shout out, Michelle. So, Emma, where are you taking us today?
Oh, well,
Ooh.
yes, I know. Well, I thought I'd talk about some of the things I've learned since setting up my perfect neon. And I'm very interested to hear about the results of that poll as well.
Oh, yeah, we did a poll earlier on. That was really successful, that poll. And we had Emma on the show, folks, in December when she just first launched her business. So this is going to be an interesting catch-up on that and some interesting lessons learned for us all. So, and even. Okay, so just before we start, here's some examples of Emma's work just to get you going for now. So we've got some nice examples over here. We're going to come to all of these in a minute, but I'm just going to give you a quick gallery view of Kiss Me Under the Light of 1,000 Stars, Ain't No Stopping Us Now, Stand By Me. All of these mean something to somebody. And this Russian Warship one's fantastic. We'll come on to that. Cocktail Dreams. There you go. One of my favourites. Yeah. And P.S. I love you. There's a story behind that, as there is with all of Emma's stuff, and also some other signs here. And my perfect neon straight out the box. Get your glow on, folks. Get your glow on. So that's just a little taster for you for now. Let's just bring Emma back. Where are you? Side by side. Here we go. Right, so there's some examples. So there'll also be a chance to join in and ask Emma questions too. So get your questions prepared as we're going along, folks. So why should we pay attention? Well, Emma, you have a question for the audience, haven't you? Have you got a first question for us? Have I caught you on the hop?
Oh, I think you might have just caught me on the hop. But,
we do that to people, you know.
Well, I suppose my first question would be, what would you be prepared to give up in order to have the work-life balance perfect? You know, and I think the poll that you did was really, really good. And it would be interesting to know what the audience would say. My response would have been to that poll. And I think your questions were, would you...
I'll get the poll up for you. 1 second. Here we go, Emma. There's the poll.
Yeah. So in order to get work and family absolutely perfect, what would you be prepared to do to make it work? So what did I do? Did I change job and or location, give up my job, create my own dream job, or did I stay as I was?
And we're going to find out a bit later, hopefully, Emma. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay, so the question is, again, just so everyone's got that, what are you prepared to give up? Was that right? For your Yeah. What are you prepared to give up for your perfect job? Was that it?
Yeah, and what do you think Emma did?
And what did hey, there you go. And what did you think Emma did? Hand us on a postcard, throw them into the chat. So there we go. Elaine, good morning as well. Yeah, good morning from the Algarve, the sunny Algarve. Fantastic. Okay, look, there's a delay in the feed, so we'll come back to those. Birdie will pop the question into the comments as she's just done. So, and I'll come back to you, Emma, in just a tick. So, thank you. So, as mentioned, let me just bring up the guest scene again. So, as mentioned, this is an interactive show, folks, so please join in. Don't be shy. Use the comments for these questions and engage with us during the show and each other. Remember, it's a group conversation, folks. And just before we go any further, I just want to do a special announcement, actually. I'm just going to take a couple of moments for this special announcement. So next week, folks, is our 60th show. Can you believe that? That deserves a... Oh, yeah. So our 60th show, and to mark that auspicious occasion, I'm delighted to announce some special news about our first ever sponsor. And here's a little taster. So let's just hope all this works as I do this. So where's the reveal scene? Here we go. So here's our first taster. Da-da! So that is Leaderslive powered by your DMS. I think that deserves one of those. And a... So we're beyond super duper excited to be partnering with your DMS as our official sponsor moving forward. And of course, a big, massive, mahoosive shout out to Jet Wright, who's listening today, and one of his colleagues, Sadie Newman, and of course, Jack's whole team at your DMS. We are delighted. I've so enjoyed working with you, Jack, putting this together, and the whole of your team as well, putting this together over the last month. So look, I'll tell you a little bit more about that coming up in the intermission halfway through, just so you know. So also we'll get back to and just before we get back to you, Emma, you may have noticed like what you see, buymeacoffee.com. or / Leaders Live. So listen, we've done this so that you can participate with your appreciation and support for the huge amount of work that we do in the background to get this free show out. As you can imagine, there's a lot of work that goes on in this. It just doesn't happen by magic. So, as well as, one-off appreciations, there's also deal offers for longer term and membership and support options too. But we'd love you to buy us a coffee and see how it works. What should happen is if you do buy us a coffee while we're online, a little icon will come up and flash with your name and we can give you a round of applause. That's kind of how it works. So it's a bit of fun. And also it's a great thing to buy, for your friends and colleagues too. It's a fantastic app to have. It's really easy to use, lots of fun, and you'll get a shout out right here on the show when you use it. Please try it and join in. We can all join in the fun, because guess what? We all love a free coffee, right? So,
yeah.
Absolutely, Emma. Where are we? Let's bring you back in again. Okay, so there we go. So just before we begin, let's give you a round of applause, Emma. You're going to be clearing up that confetti for ages. So
I know, yeah.
Feel the love, Emma. Feel the love. Hope you enjoyed the groovy build-up, by the way. So yeah. So Emma, you asked the audience a couple of questions to begin with. Let's get started with this. What's in the comments so far, Birdine, before we go back to Emma?
Okay, so most people said number 3 on the poll.
Number 3 on the poll. Let's bring the poll back up. There we go.
Yes. So create your own dream job.
Nice.
And then Elaine said, so she said in 1998, I walked away from my perfect role to gain balance. And she expects Emma that she would do the same than what she did. Then there's a few LinkedIn users in here. So the one is Shona and the one is
hi, Shona.
Guy. So it's between the two of them. Guy said number 3 entrepreneurs, number 1 for employed staff. So that one was Guy.
Guy.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, then your names will come through shortly.
Tosh said,
Morning,
whatever
Tosh.
it takes according to your priorities. A little bit.
We've got our first coffee, by the way. Sorry, we've got our first coffee. David Brambell's just brought me a coffee. Thank you very much. Thank you, David. Well, now we know the software works. That's how it works, folks. Carry on, Birdine. Sorry about
that. Then Jack just said it's a pleasure working with you. Looking forward to the future. Laurie said, I came in late and you're giving away coffee.
Actually, Laurie, it's the other way around. So you can buy me a coffee, Laurie.
Okay, so that is it in the chat. So most said number 3.
Number 3, yeah. Morning, Mateus. Laurie Hales, early bird gets you the cup. Oh, nice play on words there. Fantastic. Okay. Yeah. And morning, Amber and Anbar Paddy, and morning Henrietta again. Change job and location, says Henrietta. So super. Okay, so let's bring you back in again. Okay, so what say you to all of that lot, Emma?
Well, actually, it was all of the top 3.
All of the top 3. Let's go back to the poll
I
again.
gave up a job. I changed location, and I created my dream job.
Sorry, I've just lost the poll data. I don't know where the poll data's gone. That's not. It's all gone a bit funny. There we go. We've lost the poll data in it, but there we go.
Yeah. So the only one was stay as you are, which I think you had about 5% of your listeners voted for that. But I suppose it was a bit of a trick question, really. I did 3 dramatic things in order to get the family work-life balance just right. And I think that was the biggest lesson learned, that, last year, my last salary that I got from a very well-paid job was the end of August last year. And then no money coming in.
Yeah.
And there's that, I suppose, and I was listening to one of your interviews about imposter syndrome.
Oh, yes.
I certainly had that. I certainly thought, this is ridiculous. I can't do this, and I'm not being realistic about this. And who wants to buy neon signs anyway? And blah, 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 blah. So one of the main lessons that I learned was nothing's going to happen overnight. It does, you're not going to be making your first million in your first month.
Indeed.
And, it takes time to build your presence up for people to, trust that you're a reputable business. And I know people don't just buy things like a neon sign on a whim. They are expensive things. It is wall art, essentially, and people want to get the style right, the color right, the look right, and that takes time. And people aren't just going to just spend upwards of maybe £300 on something that they haven't thought about quite carefully and researched. So the next lesson learned was to promote myself. And I am outgoing and I am, very gregarious, but I'm not very good at promoting myself. And, basically saying, I'm wonderful, you must buy from me. So that was quite hard to sort of get across in my advertising and things like that I am brilliant.
Oh, lovely. I like that. Yeah.
That I am brilliant and I am worth buying from, and that my products are very good quality. So that was the next thing, and I've had to learn how to use Instagram. And I knew what Instagram was, but I'm of that generation where you probably don't use it. So when I started using Instagram, I got no idea what hashtags were. I've heard of them, but I didn't know how to use them in order to widen the audience that I was reaching with my posts, and learning how to do a reel.
A reel, yeah. All of these things you got to learn.
I know, and I literally was self-taught on all of that, and now I've got a sort of a way of making posts on Instagram and making sure that I'm using the right hashtags for the right sign and for the right audience that I want. And I'm very pleased to say that, in the last 3 months, I've jumped from, sort of 50 followers to nearly 700. And those are ones that I haven't bought, because there are lots of people approaching me saying, I can grow your Instagram following overnight by 5,000. But essentially what you're doing is you're just buying Instagram followers.
Yeah.
And so these are ones that I've actually, I've earned.
Absolutely. So you've grown organically and not artificially, Emma.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
I'm really pleased about that. I mean, I can't wait to hit the first 1,000 because apparently, so I understand that all the algorithms change then, and you can reach even wider audiences. I mean, Facebook and Instagram and their algorithms are just another thing. But anyway, hey ho, not my problem there. But yes, that was the the first lesson learned was believe in yourself. Don't let that imposter syndrome get you in the middle of the night and make you give up.
Quite right.
And also, that it's not going to be a profitable business overnight. It does take time, and you've got to build up your presence. People need to know that you're viable, that you're trustworthy.
Yeah.
So I've learned how to use Google My Business now, and not being shy about asking people to leave me a review, and that's now going up now. I'm getting quite a few 5-star reviews, which of course does improve my presence on the internet as well. So that's all really good.
Absolutely, Emma. Yeah, and this sign here was done by you. The Be Awesome sign behind me here was done by the lovely Emma. So that's just a quick shout out. And after the show, if you can give us the link for the Google, we can put it into the comments field and into the group as well, Emma, so that people can. I'm just changing you a little bit there. There you go. So you're not quite so big there. There you go. So people can follow that and give you reviews as well. So yes, please, thank you. So back to you again here. Yeah, so Be Awesome. That there's a story behind that, and that is there's no charge for awesomeness, right? And there's always a story behind your stuff. Let me come on to some of your latest work. Is this some of your latest work here, Emma?
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing, is that another lesson learned is that what is my USP? I've had to find that one out for myself. And there are many, 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 many online retailers of neon signs, and I don't want to be just another online retailer of neon signs. I want to be something different, and that's why people buy from me.
Yeah.
And I now know what my USP is, and my USP is, my perfect neon. We listen to the story. We don't just sell you a sign. So I can trace handwriting, and not just someone who's alive's handwriting. I can be given a letter from somebody who's died, who's in the family, who's a loved one, and I can recreate, using that handwriting, a sign that is about that person's I don't know, saying or something like that. So in the pictures that you can see there, that's my dad. Now, Dad's still alive and kicking, thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
And this was me just trialing, just seeing, does it work? Can I do this? So Dad always says to me, "P.S. I love you," and that is his handwriting on the sign.
So these signs mean something to people, don't they?
That is literally Dad's handwriting, which I have traced and turned into a neon sign. So that that is a sort of prototype. That was, can I do this? Is it possible to recreate somebody's handwriting, somebody's catchphrase into a neon sign? And so that's something I did quite early on, and yes, it is possible. And then that means there at the bottom right, you see another sign there that says Dingy's Bar.
Dingy's Bar, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I think I talked about Dingy.
You did first time, December,
Now, that actually is the second sign that family has bought from me. And it's a lovely Jane Ferns. She lives up in the Wirral, and she contacted me out, just from my social media, and asked about a sign. And in the process of our conversation, and it's all, it's all on WhatsApp. I have actually since spoken to her on the telephone, and I will go up and meet her. But initially the conversation was literally on a WhatsApp. So this is another lesson that I've learned, that it's possible to get across your personality, your passion, just through a text, just through a WhatsApp, which I never believed was possible, because I was always a bit dismissive of texts and WhatsApps. I think much better to talk, but
I agree.
It is, but I have learned that it is possible, from a business point of view, to get across passion in the written form. And in my conversation with Jane on WhatsApp, she told me about her son, and her son was killed in a freak motorbike accident last August.
Gosh, yeah.
And absolutely terrible. She carried his dead body, to safety. Well, say safety, but of course he's dead. But it was just a horrible story that she was telling me. And I said to her, "Look, have you got?" Her son's called Callum. And I said, "Have you got any handwriting of Callum's?" And she said, "What?" And I said, "Well, I could trace the writing and produce a sign that is in his handwriting." So she was quite overwhelmed by that.
I'm sure.
The DJ Dingy, which was the first one I did, his nickname was Dingy, and he would have a catchphrase. It's a ding thing. And his sister.
Yeah.
Sister wants to be a DJ, and she is a DJ now, and she is DJ Dingy. And so the sign that the first sign I did today was that, and she now has it behind her at all her events.
Lovely.
And Jane came back to me, so it would have been Callum's 25th birthday on the 11th of May this year. And they've, like a lot of people in the country at the moment, thanks to COVID, one of the good things that came out of COVID is people are building garden bars and caves at the bottom of their garden, and
whoop, whoop.
and things like that. And so the garden bar is a big thing now, and I've actually tapped into that phenomenon by advertising very much with particular groups on Facebook, and I've sold a lot of signs to people who've now got, there's my signs up in their various garden bars all around the country. So the one there, bottom right, is Dingy's Bar. Yeah. So they built a bar in their back garden.
Fantastic.
Jane and her husband, and opened it on the night of that would have been Callum's 25th birthday.
Wow, fantastic story. And the Alfie story, quickly, what's that about, the Alfie story there?
So the Alfie one there, that is just another way of showing that my signs aren't just, don't necessarily have to be phenomenally big, expensive things. This is a christening, and they wanted something for their christening for their child.
Lovely.
And little Alfie there. And I love that picture because, again, you know, the glow that you get from these signs, you never really understand how bright and cheerful and wonderful they are until you've actually physically got your sign up and hanging in your room. And that picture's a favourite, really, because it just shows that glow coming off the sign onto little Alfie's face, and he was ecstatic with it.
I bet you he was, yeah. And will continue to be. Every time I switch mine on, Emma, I have exactly the same thing. And interestingly, we hadn't met at the time when you did my sign, but we met at a service station when we exchanged.
Yes, I know.
It's brilliant. Yeah, with your husband, David. So brilliant.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, on that Alfie sign, I mean, what the sort of link there is, again, you know, the conversations that you have with people, and I think, you know, if that conversation is a successful conversation, it's what leads to the deal. And I was actually, you know, my husband David was, we'll get onto it in due course, but he was in Ukraine and he's now in Romania, and he managed to sort of squeeze in a long weekend. So I said, look, let's meet. And I met him in Rome, and we had a long weekend in Rome.
A romantic weekend in Rome. Fantastic.
Yeah, gorgeous. And on the way back, I was sat on the plane and, you know, ended up starting to chat to a woman next to me.
Oh, yeah.
And anyway, in the conversation, it turns out that she is a high-end event organizer and wedding planner.
Right.
And so I was like, can I give you my card? And, you know, we were chatting away, and she was actually really helpful, because I do get approached by a lot of people asking me basically to give them a sign, and in return they'll reveal it on Instagram and
Give us a sign. Give us a sign.
I know, you know, influencers that want to be paid, and I was talking to this woman about it, and she said, my clients are celebrities and they will always pay.
Wow.
And you know that this is a thing, you know, hang in there, don't sell yourself short, don't you know,
quite right,
better word, don't prostitute yourself in order to get that sale. And if it means you don't get the sale, well, so be it. And anyway, so she was really helpful, and she, you know, she gave me a lot of advice. Anyway, about 3 weeks later, she contacted me and she said, I need a sign. And there was a big wedding in Rome actually a few weeks ago. I don't know when I'm going to be able to talk about it, because she did sign NDAs and all that stuff.
Okay, right, fair enough.
But two of my signs are there, and she's actually asked for more signs for more events that are coming up this year.
Brilliant.
Again, all of that wasn't necessarily just because I paid for advertising.
No, it's who you meet. Yeah.
Instagram followers. This was little old me.
Little old you. Yeah, on a plane. Yeah.
On a plane.
Yeah.
Chatting away to somebody, and this person saw my personality, felt my enthusiasm. Brilliant. And why she's bought from me.
Brilliant, great. Let's give you a break for a moment, and we'll come to chat in a moment. But just on that, I once sold this book here. This is my first book, You Are More Than You Think. I sold it on a train because I just happened to have it, you know, there on the table. And this lady said, "Oh, that looks an interesting book. You know, can I have a look?" And then she looked at the back page and saw the picture of me and said, "Oh, that's you." And she bought it instantly, just like that. So there you go. It's amazing who you meet on planes, trains, and automobiles. So there we are.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, Berdin, where are we in the chat? There's billions of stuff going on in the chat. Let's just catch up where you are. I'll give you a break for a minute.
Yes. Cecile said, Andrew, spread your coffees or take some decaf.
Yeah, thanks, Cecile. Cecile was my first coffee buyer, actually. So come on, buy me a coffee, folks. Well done, Cecile. Thank you.
Jack Wright said, happiness. Amber said, gratitude.
Yeah.
Hi, Raj.
Hi, Raj. Great to see you.
A guy said, Emma, your signs are creative, perfect. Keep smashing it.
There you go. All the way from South Africa. Good guy. Good lad, guy.
Totally, I'm honoured to just navigating my way around it. Okay, I wonder if that is...
that's the coffee app. I think that's the
that's
coffee
Shona.
App. Yeah. Oh,
yes.
That's Shona. Right. Nice one, Shona.
Guy said, did anyone help you influence your thinking and was there to support you?
Oh.
That's a question for you, Emma.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was it? Did anybody... influenced me.
Yeah. Did anyone help
Yeah.
you influence your thinking? Was a great support to you? Well, I reckon David certainly was, wasn't he? Your
Yeah,
husband.
definitely. And there are people, I've got friends and family as well that have when you have those low moments, when you think, I haven't sort of signed for 3 days, or haven't had an inquiry for 3 days, or whatever, reminding me that, businesses do take time
Of
to
course.
grow, and, you've got to give yourself that time to do
Yeah.
it, and the time to make the mistakes and the time to get it right. And yeah, and I do think, I mean, my mum, she died last August, and again, I did a sign using her handwriting, which I think I showed you the last
Yeah.
time we spoke, and that's actually now up in my sister's house. And I do think that she speaks to me from beyond the grave, definitely. Just when I think, nah, this isn't going very well, or I haven't sold something for a while, it's almost like ping.
Yeah.
WhatsApp comes up, somebody saying, can I buy that sign that you designed for me 3 months ago? I'm now ready to buy it. Yeah, so
Exactly.
I do have a huge amount of support and love, and smoke being blown up the orifice kind of thing from my family, and I'm without them I don't think I'd be able to do it.
Yeah, no, and well said. Yeah, the support of family and others around us. There's a lovely phrase I read this morning in our notes this morning. We always do notes in the morning, Sarah and I. And is wait on the Lord, which I thought was brilliant. Don't try and rush everything, because haste
Yeah,
leads to waste. And sometimes
yeah,
you just got to wait stuff out. And that's one of your business advices to us is, look, people take time to make up their decisions
yeah,
to buy things. So just wait it
yeah.
out. Yeah,
And also,
okay.
it's not just necessarily people waiting to buy your product. It's
Making the
you
decision,
might.
I mean, yeah,
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 and also, I've certainly made rush decisions
yeah.
in starting my Perfect Neon, and for example, I signed up to do a trade fair, a big trade fair, and it was a lot of money to have my stand, and actually I've had to defer it now for another year, because
Fair enough.
as we were getting closer and closer to the date, I thought, I'm not ready yet.
You're not
I'm
ready.
trying.
Yeah.
I'm, am I? And I'm still. I still think I'm erring on the fact that I'm a retailer. A retailer. I'm not wholesaler.
Yeah.
And it might be that I will lose completely that money that I have spent on the stand that I bought, but that's part of the journey, I
It
suppose. And I
is.
think,
You make mistakes, don't you? That's it. And
yeah,
it's okay. It's okay to let if you're not ready. But there again, we're never ready, are we? Really, not ready. So there we go, Emma. So just give you a break from it. Let's carry on with the comments, Birdine.
Okay. Just Maria and Shona is going to watch it later. So Maria
Lovely.
said she'll watch it later. She needs to jump, and then
Yeah.
Shona said she has to duck to now.
Duck and jump. There we go. Right.
Matthias said, I know from experience that learning how to use social media can be a challenge. Still loads to learn when it comes to using Instagram. More successful on LinkedIn with over 4,000 followers.
Yeah.
It's all training.
You're dead right, and it's hard to, these, working through the algorithms and working them out, Matthias, and actually Emma said the same because your stuff is Facebook mainly and Instagram, isn't it, Emma? So
it is, yeah, and again, there are some things that work better on Facebook,
indeed, yeah.
particular groups on Facebook,
Particularly
and then
yours is so visual, right, Emma? So
yeah.
Okay. So I think this is this guy.
Yes, that's a guy.
If you don't ask, you don't get. Excellent, Emma. Nice. Carry on, Birdie.
Yes. Okay, good morning, Paul Winfield.
Oh, good morning, Paul.
Should be rules against buying influence.
Yeah, and that Emma was saying that earlier. Absolutely.
I know.
Don't buy it or grow it organically.
Yeah.
Always grow organically.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still early doors with our YouTube group, and that's, by the way, folks, you can help us there too, please, because Emma's talking about 1,000 followers. We're still way low numbers for that, so please support us on YouTube. That really helps. Anyway, so I'm sure Birdie will put a link in to YouTube later, but please support us on that. Yes. Carry on, Birdie.
Cecile said yes, and keep focus on your inner goals and purposes. I truly believe that the universe will support you by sending the right connections and open the right doors. It's like you said, Emma, with your mom.
Yeah.
You can still hear her and feel her. If you feel like things are not going right, it just comes in again.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's brilliantly said, yeah.
Well said, Cecile.
And then Cecile said, brilliant concept, Emma.
There you go.
And Michelle also said that it's beautiful.
Hey, well done, Michelle.
Then Matthias said, I can also recommend to attend as many networking events as you possibly
Spot
can.
on.
Be
Spot on.
present,
Yeah.
present
Yeah.
yourself and what you do. Network and
And
find people sharing interests is also a brilliant way to generate views.
yeah, that is extremely good advice. And again, this is part of my journey. I know that where I live in Warwickshire, and I know that there's some very good networking.
Yeah, go to them. Yeah.
And I was signed up to go to one, and I caved at the last minute.
Come on, Emma. How hard can it be?
Walk in and go,
Yeah, you're a gregarious character. Come on.
exactly. So that's again. I mean, you know, that comment is absolutely spot on.
Spot on. Well said.
Yes,
Well done,
I
Matthias.
need to go and do that. So, and I will.
Yeah, this is the beauty of this community. We all help each other here. So yeah. Carry on, Birding.
Jack writes it, lovely idea, Emma.
Yeah.
And then Michelle Parsons, I have just followed you on Instagram. There you've
There
got
you go.
another follower.
Good. I think that might bring me up to 659.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Elaine said you've got fabulous creations, Emma.
Yeah.
Then Matthias said, for instance, yesterday I attended a hybrid conference where Stephen Barlett was one of the participants. We were also given the opportunity to network virtually. Cool experience.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, great. Absolutely. No excuse for not networking these days. Yeah,
No.
spot on. Yeah.
And Matthias also loves your concept. Fair play to you.
Thank you.
Then this is probably Guy again. Garden bar, great growth market ahead of your game, Emma.
Ahead of your game, Emma. This next one's a bit of a dodgy dude here. I think it's the hubby.
Thanks, David.
Love that, Emma.
Thanks, David.
What did he say?
He said, love that, Emma. You've got your value.
You've
got your value, what you do. If you don't, why should anyone else?
Yeah,
well,
spot on.
Exactly. I mean, people aren't stupid, and they can hear in your voice and hear in the message whether or not you believe in your own product. So
quite right.
Yes.
Quite right. Yeah, brilliant.
Cecile said, Emma, how the law of the universe is working, hey?
Brilliant. Brilliant. This one's Guy again.
Yes. Dave, your hubby is the perfect influencer. He knows his stuff.
There you go. Shout out for your hubby.
And David said, right back at you, Guy.
Right back at you.
Sales coach.
David needs to get an Instagram account.
And he can follow yours. Brilliant. Okay.
And then Guy asked, may I ask what 3 mistakes did you make?
Okay, go for it, Emma.
Right, 3 mistakes. First of all, I rushed a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, I've got a pile of signs that I don't actually think are that good. So that, you know, so I've probably wasted money in that respect. I certainly got it wrong by paying, you know, nearly £5,000 for my trade stand, because I was at that point, I wasn't entirely sure about my pricing at wholesale, you know, when you're selling business to business. And now what's becoming clear to me is I'm probably just retail. So I'm probably building up to losing that money. So again, that you know, that's another example of rushing. And I am an impatient person, and I think that impatience is a vice. And I've allowed a lot of my impatience to sort of let me run and make stupid mistakes, really, in this sort of beginning of it all. So that's the first mistake, you know, not curbing my
enthusiasm.
Naturally, to be impatient. And the other one is, I thought, you know, I wanted my Perfect Neon initially to look like all the other neon sign businesses, because, you know, and that was a mistake. And so, you know, the website is going to take a lot longer to do, because the wonderful guys that are doing my website, I said I wanted to look like these websites, so they've done it like those websites. And actually, it should, My Perfect Neon shouldn't be like every other online retailer.
Quite right. Yeah, it should have unique.
It needs to be its own thing. So that was another mistake. It's that sort of having that confidence and having the time really, and taking the time to be really clear about what your USP is.
Yeah, and it takes time to find you as well, Emma, doesn't it, in the process, like us all here.
Yeah.
You know, it takes us all time to find out who we are in what we do. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I've got, rushing, trying to do the same as everybody else. And I think my third mistake probably is just, worrying a little bit, you're not sell.
Yeah.
If you have those sort of quieter months, that doesn't mean you're a failure. And it's just, just enjoy the process.
Quite right. It's easy to say, hard to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Emma. That's really interesting. So, look, we're going to take a quick break for now and do the intermission, which we're going to talk about at the special announcement. Just before we do, I just wanted to find a sign for you, which I really like. Where is it? Is it this one here? This top one here, the Russian Warship one. This is one of my favourites. That underneath there is that Ukraine or Russian for go and F yourself, right? Which was the announcement made to the Russian warship that was in trouble for, I wanted diesel or something or other, and the Ukraine ship, go and F yourself. So
the story about that, this is, I think this is a perfect example of how My Perfect Neon has evolved over the last few months, really. That, that sign isn't just an off-the-shelf sign that you can buy on any any website. And this is I want to be able to do and is to listen to people's stories and recreate a sign that sums up that story that they've just told me. And this one is, I produced 4 of these signs, and the team that David's been working for in Ukraine and Romania, they're in Kyiv when Putin is starting to bomb quite seriously. And the day before, some Russian soldiers have rocked up at, I think it was Snake Island was the name of the place. And they say to the Ukrainian soldiers there, surrender or we'll kill you. And this was their response.
Yeah.
So this sign for the team that David's been working with, who, whilst this was happening, had got 15 minutes to leave where they were in Kyiv. Otherwise, they were on their own.
Yeah.
And then they had a 48-hour journey, stop where they could stop to get a drink or to get some food. But it was David said he wasn't frightened, but he was worried.
Yeah.
And, trying to get to the border to Romania, and then at the border at Romania, just chaos and, terrible scenes, really. Some women were screaming, as their husbands and sons are ripped off them because they've got to stay in Ukraine to fight. Children just stood there with a carrier bag that's all they've got.
Their belongings,
And the chaos of trying to get through and the panic of trying to get through the border. And then on the other side, almost like, arriving in the Garden of Eden, they've got calm and people genuinely, hugging you and giving you soup, giving you clothing, giving you blankets, medicine.
Brilliant. And in fact, Emma, we've got David next week going to talk about that exact story. So exactly. That's just a quick shout out.
I won't sort of, cramp his story, but that Russian warship sign, for people that work in the Crisis 2014,
means an awful lot.
That means everything to them.
Brilliant.
And in fact, one of the guys, he bought it for his mum. And his mum is, sort of 75-year-old, 80-year-old woman, and she lives up in Galashiels in Scotland. And she moved the family grandfather clock out the way in the hall and put this sign up.
There you go. These things are all personal. So thanks for that, Emma. We're just going to put you on pause for a minute while we just do this quick special announcement. So back to the reveal again. So so I mentioned earlier, look, we've got some fantastic news. We are super excited that as from next week, Leaderslive will be partnering with your DMS as our sponsors moving forward. And for us all, this is a significant and big, massive step forward. So and our branding will change as well next week as well, and we will feature Jack Wright again as our hangout guest in Leaders Live sometime, hopefully in July. Haven't talked to him about that yet. So so that's let me just give a round of applause for that. Where's the applause thing gone? There we go. Hey! So Jack Wright is the sales director for Your DMS. I'll come on to him in a moment. So, who are Your DMS? Well, Your DMS are a family-run business, at the heart of Wiltshire. That's where they're located, with over 30 years of experience in document and data management industry, and they help any business improve the way forward with, or the way they work with documents and data by using fantastic, great tech. So if you are seeking to improve your business processes through workflow, then Your DMS, you know where to call. You just call Your DMS, and they are here to lend you a helping hand. So that's them, and I think that deserves a. So why have we done this, and what is our hope? Well, you may already know Jack Wright is a regular on Leaders Live and a passionate supporter. He was, we did the Get to Know You in 5, the first one with Jack, and he's sales director of Your DMS, as I said earlier. And Jack and I believe that this is a fantastic opportunity to add even more value to the Leaders Live brand and evolve Leaders Live to the next level. And our hope is that this amazing Leaders Live community, you guys, will all benefit too in a very natural, friendly, easy way through this sponsorship partnership with Leaders Live and Your DMS. And in short, we're all here to grow our businesses together in novel ways, and that's why we've got Emma here as well. So that's that's that. So here's a short announcement video Your DMS have put together, and we hope you'll love it too as much as we do. I'll just play that now. If I can find it, 1 second, here we go. Right, so I hope the sound comes through and I hope you enjoy this. 1 second, it's a short video. Isn't that fantastic? Oh, I love that. Absolutely brilliant, that is. Really love that. I've got the wrong one there, just bear with me. Where's the scene gone? Oh, God, I'm all over the place. There we go. Okay, so how can you help us spread the Leaders Live love, folks? Well, 3 ways. We'd love you to support the announcement posts that are coming out on social media channels right after this show, please. So please, please get involved with pumping the video that you've just watched, as well as Jack Wright, who's interviewing me, spreading the love on Leaders Live. So we can't wait for that. We recorded that on Friday, Jack and I, and it's really cool. Love it. So you'll see that coming out as well too. Also, secondly, please invite your connections to join on our events, and we want to help your connections grow your business too. And we'd love to continue to use the Buy Me Coffee app anytime to show your appreciation for the work that we do in this free broadcast to you every week. So thanks in advance. So back to the show flow again, folks. So just pick up some of the comments in a minute. Righty-ho. So back to you again. Where are we? Side by side. And then we guess it. So back to you again. So we're hanging out with Emma Brambell, CEO of My Perfect Neon, chatting about business lessons learned to how to get your glow on. Now, listen, folks, you listening in and tuning in, if you've got any questions, please ask Emma, and we'll pick them up shortly. There's a delay in the feed, so while we're waiting, I've got a couple of questions as well. So tell us a bit about the troll thing, Emma. Have you had to deal with trolls and horrible things like that?
Gosh, do you know what? I'd forgotten about that. So thank you very much indeed for reminding me about that. Yes, I had my first troll, and I honestly, I didn't. I was so, my heart sank, and when you start hyperventilating almost. And I was reading, basically, I'd put a post on a particular group on Facebook where I have actually got quite a bit of traffic from it, and I put a picture of myself up with my daughter in front of one of the signs that I've done, and just told the story about me, and said, I make these signs, I design these signs, and I would love to do the design a sign for you. Well, I had a guy called Matt who obviously, I don't know whether somebody had eaten half his sandwich that night or something, but he was ready to bring Emma Bramble down. And so he just started off basically saying I was a fraud, and that all I do is I just type the words that somebody wants into any of these design your own website things, and I'm now charging for a service that's essentially free. Oh, it went on and on. And then we had Hero Steve, who was on this group, and he messaged back and just said, "Don't be that guy, Matt," with a face.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then Matt started having a go at Steve, and it just went on and on and on and on. And I just, after a while, I just thought, do you know what? This is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant, because
what a way to reframe.
I would then just love the messages that were positive about me. Then some other people who've actually bought signs and got them in their bars, they then started putting pictures of their fabulous signs that they bought from me that I've designed for them onto this Facebook page. Anyway, in the end, admin banned Matt because rule number 1 is be kind.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But there's no such thing as bad publicity.
There isn't.
I sold a sign as a result.
So there you go, out of the fire. And
in fact, it was interesting. He said it's clear that you don't just type in the words into
quite right, obviously, yeah.
Because he wanted a very particular sign. It was off Bob, which is apparently a Leeds United thing, and he wanted it in all the Leeds United colours and a particular font and all this sort of thing. Yeah.
Brilliant. I love that story.
So
what a great one.
There's no such thing as bad publicity.
There's no such thing as bad publicity. And talking about publicity, Julie Whale says this. She says, you should do the trade show, Emma. It will raise awareness and make connections for the future. And, as I said before, we are never ready. So, if you've still got do it.
Yeah, I do agree with that. What I've got to do is I've got to do it when I'm ready.
Yeah.
And I wasn't ready this year because I hadn't got the trade prices right. And I wasn't entirely sure about margins and things like that. And also, I think, the trade fair that I've now deferred to do for next year, it's in Harrogate. Harrogate is quite a special little fair, actually. And, well, not a little, it's a big fair, but it's quite a special one. And what I need to do for that, and it's, again, this thing of taking your time to let, your USP, your mantra, your business mantra evolve.
Yeah.
What I will do is a particular range for Harrogate.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. A particular range. So when you're ready, right. Okay.
Yeah, and that's what the buyers, when they're going, they want something. They go to Harrogate to get the special things, to get the unique things.
Yeah.
If I just take my normal cocktail sign or whatever, which is, I need them. They're my sort of, my bread and butter signs. But if I take those, it doesn't make me any different to anybody else. So it needs to be the new designs. And actually, so that don't stop me now sign that you showed right at the very beginning.
Where is it there? That one there.
That's a new range. That's the print is screen printed onto the back of the acrylic. So we've got good old pop art Freddie Mercury there, and then the key phrase on top of it. And I've got one with Marilyn. I've got one, get out of my way, I'm fabulous.
Ain't no stopping us now.
Ain't no stopping us now. So so that, I think that is the sort of range that I think will work really well at Harrogate. But I'll do it next year, and maybe I'll have a different idea by then.
Yeah, I really like Julie's pushback on that. So, but we hear you, so thank you. So let's just clear up some comments while we're going along. So, Madam Moderator, Berdin Hugo, what's going on?
Yes, so Matthias said, brilliant sales strategy. And your trains are great for exchanging books and reading recommendations.
Yeah.
Remember, once I took the train from Belfast to Dundalk, a young lady said, hey, Beauty, what are you reading?
Beardy.
I replied, looking for Alaska. The lady said, but Alaska is found ages ago. Then the other passengers joined our conversation, and one of them, a young independent writer, sold me his book that he had with him. Plus, I had 5 new great book recommendations.
There you go, Beardy. Fantastic. Well done, Beardy. Love that. We've got a new name for Matthias, Beardy. I love that. Fantastic. Thanks, Beardy. Right, carry on.
Then a guy said, focus either B2B or B2C. Good to see you now looking at B2C. Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah. And I think Cecile said this. Oh, Emma, I live in Warwickshire too. There you go.
Okay.
It's a small world, isn't it? Yeah. Carry on, Verdi.
Jonas said, I just had a look at your LinkedIn page. If I may come with that advice, I would put some effort into that.
Yeah.
You can find a lot of customers there as well. Your signs are beautiful and eye-catching. And I think this is something I spoke to you about earlier, Andrew.
Yeah, it was.
You can have an amazing eye-catching LinkedIn company page with every
I know. I think
and
again,
the stories.
I mean, that again is my, absolute sort of no idea about social media because of my age and because of and also my background. I used to be a teacher, and you shouldn't have social media pages if you're a teacher, because otherwise the kids know everything.
The kids will troll you, right?
Yeah, exactly, and not a good idea. So social media is never really something I really did until
recently.
Yeah. So yes, I absolutely agree. It's a bit cringe, my LinkedIn presence. And I do need to have a business page, not just a personal one.
Well, I've got a great suggestion for you. Use Birdie and Hugo, Marketing CX, and Tilly Davis. They are brilliant. There's a shout out for Marketing CX for you. They will help you, and they are brilliant. So, and that's a shout out for them, for everybody as well. Right, carry on, Birdie.
Okay, Cecile said this: one of the purposes of our life is to learn and adjust and then grow. So well done for acknowledging your mistakes and transforming them into growing seeds. That's very, very beautifully said.
Well done. Yeah, lovely. Yes. Beautiful, Cecile. Yeah.
Okay, then Guy just said, Jack, well done, my brother. And then Cecile said, brilliant, Andrew. I love those bells.
I think she means the advert jingle. Yeah, I think she likes that. Yeah.
Carol said, fabulous. And then Guy said, Emma, do you outsource the manufacture of your signs?
There you go. Yes. Another question for you.
Yes. Yeah, I can't make the signs myself. I haven't got that capacity to do it. So I use a supplier for that. And I have a proper factory that I use, and I've got a relationship with them. I've got a decent price now from them because I've been putting quite a lot of traffic through them. Yeah, no, I do. I do all the designing. And again, I think that this is another journey of mine that I've learned is that, initially I thought, should I be making the signs as well? And the answer is no. There is nothing wrong with having a supplier. Lots of businesses use suppliers. So I do have a supplier. But what I say about myself is that I'm the one that you speak to initially when you want a sign. I'm the one that does all the designing for you. And I'm the one that, that you have the customer experience with. If there's a problem with the sign, which touch wood, I think I've only had about one sign that failed, and then I just immediately had it replaced. Yeah. But you've got that backup with, for 12 months if need be. Once you've had the sign delivered, you are guaranteed, and people keep in contact with me, and people come back for a second sign and a third sign. So
indeed,
I must be getting something right.
Yeah, it must be.
I'm hands up. I don't make the signs myself.
That's fair enough.
I use somebody else.
Great. Yeah, good for you. And look, we're coming to the end of the show now, sort of pretty much. So tell us, how can people contact you, Emma?
Right. So, well, obviously, once I've spoken to all the lovely people on this Leaderslive, I will have a really good LinkedIn page.
Yeah, Emma.
Yay.
Yeah,
so,
Emma.
My LinkedIn is pretty pathetic, and I know that is, and I do feel a bit embarrassed sat here on Leaderslive with probably the most pathetic LinkedIn page going at the moment, but it will improve. So I think probably the best way, I think you've got some details up there. I need to put my glasses on.
Yeah, they're on. Yeah, we've got the email, we've got your Facebook, we've got Insta.
My mobile. Yeah, definitely. Please, feel free to use my mobile. That's the number I publish on Instagram and on Facebook. On Facebook and Instagram, my page is @myperfectneon.
Brilliant. Thank you. Super duper. Okay. And then, okie dokie. Thank you for that. So let me just bring back the main scene. So I hope you've all found that useful interactive discussion, folks, on setting up a new business that Emma has given you food for thought about enhancing, your own engagement with customers and getting personal and getting real with your customers and really understanding their journey. Because when we do that, we can make magic happen, and Emma's made magic happen through the simple thing about taking someone's story and converting it into an important sign that means something to you, just like my own here. Be awesome, because there's no charge for awesomeness, right?
Yeah.
So thank you for that, and so I hope you all enjoyed that. I'm just trying to find the right scene again. There we go. So that's a quick shout out for Emma, and I'm just trying to look for the right one. Here we go. So yeah, thanks again, Emma, for enlightening us today. An extraordinary conversation, and we've loved having you on the show again, my friend. And this show will be on podcast too shortly, so it's evergreen, and it'll be in the next 24, 48 hours. Also, please remember our LinkedIn Leaderslive group, and we'll keep the conversation moving over there. We'll put Emma's contact details over there as well, and remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, folks. And Berdin has put all the links in the comments already. And before I get on to what's on next week, a quick word on what's the purpose and why with Leaderslive. Well, it all starts with an idea and a passion that you are more than you think, which is why I wrote my first book, You Are More Than You Are More Than You Think. And the motto here is I to the power of we, which we think is particularly relevant after building, after the pandemic and building back better businesses this side of the pandemic. So Leaderslive is freely available, edutaining expression of this, and anyone can join in and take part in these extraordinary conversations which we've just had today. And we want to make a difference through simple ideas and make the world better too, folks. And we want to bring a spirit of freedom, joy and fun to the feel-good factor at work. After all, why shouldn't work be fun? So quick CTA for me, just to know a little bit more about me. I'm a published author of 2 books. I've just shouted out the You Are More Than You Think book. I've also developed a book called Developing High-Performing Teams. That's my second book. I help to fix teams. So if you want to contact me, then contact me to fix your teams. If you need work with your teams, I'm a fully qualified executive coach. I am known for high-performance teamwork and expert programs and NLP diploma programs as well. So there's just a few little bits about what I do. So the goose for next week, folks. So the goose for next week is for next Leaderslive. That'll be Tuesday, the 5th of July. I can't believe it's July already. What's happening? That's at 8:45 a.m. UK time. We'll be hanging out with master storyteller. Ooh. Colonel David Brambell, and known obviously to Emma as husband thereof. So there we go. So that's the first time we've ever done that. So, and David's been on the show as well a couple of times now. David and I chatted about the power of storytelling 1.0, and now we've got round 2.0. So quick taster for you from our master storyteller. 24th of February 2022, his wedding anniversary, found David in Kiev waking up to the sounds of Russian rockets bombarding a strategic airfield nearby, and the war on Ukraine had started. And David and his own team were in the Ukraine to evacuate families and colleagues. And that day led to a very intensive 40-hour flight from Kiev to Bucharest. And the last 10 miles to the border was on foot, just like a refugee story in the Second World War, right? I mean, you can't believe it. These times are happening all over again. Having found safety through David's military background, he and his team re-established their ongoing mission to continue the evacuation of people from Ukraine, of which David is still doing today. So shout out to David for that, as well as supporting those who are unable and unwilling to leave. So what an intriguing start to a story that David will tell us more about Tuesday in the chat. So stories from Kiev, resilience and decision making in a crisis. That's what we've got coming up. Ooh, and and so we can't wait, folks. So I think that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed seeing part of Emma's collection of many neon signs. So we can't wait for next week. So that's a wrap, folks. Be there or be square, and let's just get at the wrap up. So we hope that you can bop out to this wonderful music here. And we've really enjoyed hanging out with you guys today online, and thanks very much for being part of this fantastic show and creating such a great community vibe. We can't wait we can't do this without you folks. So podcast will be out shortly again. That's all for now, folks, so we'll wave goodbye to you for now, and you'll be clearing up this confetti for ages, or at least all of us will be. Cheers for now, Emma. Thanks again, Emma. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye bye.
Cheers, everybody.